Well, here we are, Tampa Airport, getting ready to take off, as apparently is where the adventure begins, although where the story begins is still to be found. So we're off for the next 13 days with QUEENSRÂCHE. That's right, we're going off with QUEENSRÂCHE. We've somehow finagled and managed to get ourselves with the video camera into the tour, and we're going to hang out with QUEENSRÂCHE for the next 12 days and film them, and hopefully we're going to find some good stuff for you. It's live. What are you going to do? It's live.
The smaller bag does need to go underneath that seat in front of you. We do have a very full bag, and we'd like to make sure
So that's what Mike and Andy are going to be doing here on the tour. All right? If you ever feel uncomfortable, they don't need to be filming this. You just tell us, if you, hey, do you guys want to film this? Whatever, they're there to do that. All right? You guys ready? Good.
Is this when it starts right now? Is it?
This is
roll?
We're rolling. Yeah.
QUEENSRÂCHE, New Jersey.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you from the military side, the soldiers you're going to be seeing, airmen, Marines, sailors, and myself, Lone Wolf Entertainment, for going on this trip. You guys don't have to do this. A lot of bands don't want to do this. A lot of bands.
Feeling about the trip, man. I got 12 hours in the air, man. Yeah. Do you think this is a game?
12 hours? Almost there.
I'm going to sleep through all of it.
Your tours out of your personal lives, and you're doing something for our country. About 10 years ago, and formed 11 years ago, Lone Wolf Entertainment, and all I do is provide live entertainment to service members. I don't do anything on the economy. I don't do anything outside of Houston, where I now reside. It's all for the military members. A lot of things I've been going over now for 5 years. A lot has changed. I pretty much know what your questions are, what your concerns might be. So let me go through the briefing with you, kind of tell you what to expect, and then certainly at the end, if you've got any questions, throw them at me. Guys, it doesn't matter if you agree that we're over there or not. It doesn't matter. We are there, and what you're going to see is the young guys and gals over there kicking ass, doing a job 16 hours a day, not complaining, not whining, not moaning, and they're over there humping for our country, and that's who you're going to see. Guys, this trip's going to change your life. It's a life-changing experience. Tell the folks back home here what you saw over there. Tell them what you experienced. Tell them how hard the young kids, they're kids, you guys, over there, what they're doing and how hard they're working. That's your job, to take that message home.
Rockin' a load.
Hopefully you got your passports. Now you've got your orders.
My name is Jeff Tate. I'm in a band called QUEENSRÂCHE. My role? Well, I don't quite know what my role would be. I kind of wear many hats. I guess I'm a singer, songwriter. I've always hated that term frontman. It just sounds so, I don't know, utilitarian or something, I don't know. But I do a lot of things within the band. Probably the biggest difficulty to endure over here in this particular place, Kuwait and Iraq, is the lack of alcoholic beverages. It's something that's very difficult to endure, you know. I didn't really think it was going to be that big of a deal, but you know, I like a couple drinks before I go on stage every night, you know. Yeah. It kind of takes the edge off and gets you into the performance vibe. And here, you know, you're stepping on that stage stone cold sober, you know, and you know, there you are. There's no lights or production or anything that you normally have. It's very bare bones and primitive, and that's a real challenge, you know, to perform like that. And maybe not to some bands, but for us it is, because we're used to a way of performing that's quite opposite than that. You know, we have sets and, you know, props and other people playing with us, you know, and there's usually a giant light show, and specific places you have to be at specific times on stage, and that kind of thing. So this is very, very different, and challenging, you know. Enjoyed it.
This is definitely a departure from your normal tour.
Yeah, and that's good. You know, I grew up in the military. My dad was career military, so I have a bit of a background there, and I understand, you know, how the mechanism works. You know, everybody kind of knows just enough to do their job, and they're not expected to sort of see the big picture of what's going on. Every soldier I talked to over here had no idea where they were in the country. You know, they just knew they were on the base. They didn't go off the base. They just stayed on the base for months and months and months at a time. They didn't have a sense of, you know, where they were geographically. They just knew they were in, you know, Iraq or in Kuwait, you know. So I kind of expected that, but yet it was kind of an interesting observation, you know, that of military life. You know, they give you just enough information to make you dangerous, you know. But yeah, you know, it's been really, really interesting and fun to come over here and kind of immerse ourselves in the military life and see what soldiers do every day, and you know, kind of to live out a bit of our macho fantasies as well. It's really something to you know, shoot a firearm like M5 or something like that, and feel the power that that thing has, and realize that, you know, it's like everything. You know, you need to spend time with it to understand it, to be able to master it, to be able to be good with it. You know, you can't just jump on that thing and hit targets. You know, most of us can't, but certain people can. We're sitting behind the camera right now. Mike was an amazing shot. In fact, all the he was hitting these targets, boom, 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 and a hush fell over the whole shooting range, and everybody started looking at him, you know, and all the soldiers were looking at him and giving him high fives afterwards.
Yeah, rock and load. Yeah.
Oh, hop up.
All right, we got some loaded up with more ammo.
That steel is dead.
Well, it's another lovely, lovely morning here in Iraq. And you know, one of the great things about doing these tours is all the cool shit you get to do that you normally didn't get to wake up and do on any given Friday morning back home. So today, we're heading off with the EOD experts. That's the Explosives Ordnance Disposal. And basically, we're going to go blow some stuff up this morning. So I think you're going to enjoy this part a lot.
Whoever thought? I don't know how I'm going to get this in my luggage and get it home through customs, but I'll figure it out. Stick it in peanut butter jars.
Here we go, DJ will get us. Then my kids are going to be really more impressed by this than any concert that we put on over here. I think the kids will be very, very pleased that we're hanging out with the robot, so that's pretty cool.
Acronyms for everything here.
They're out here giving us a hand today. They're Army SF guys. They brought us a goat as a gift. So we came out here with the goat yesterday and did some detonations, took some pictures.
You blew up a goat?
You blew up a goat?
We did not.
That's what I got out of that, too. That's what I got.
Yes, holding a brick of C4, poking a hole in it and putting a detonator in it. You know, it's like you get this rush. I felt like I was like a kid, 12 years old, ready to blow up an M80 or something. Winding out the wire and then hooking up the thing to it, and then the guy pointing at me and pushing it in, turn the pin, pull it hard, and
Push, twist, pull.
Yep.
Kind of reminds me of what my first girlfriend said to me. Very similar. Kind of expect the same result almost, too, actually.
So,
Just another quick review. Everybody's gonna have their hand in the air. When I point at you and say pull, you're gonna grab that ring, you're gonna turn your head away. You're gonna push in, a quarter turn, and pull out smartly. Good to go?
Good to go.
All right.
we keep it easy. All you gotta do is push it in, twist it, and pull.
Push, twist, pull.
Pull.
the concussion, my God, it was just a rush. It was just, I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah, cool.
There you go.
It pops. Pops. Oh, shit. Jesus.
I got to blow a huge hole in the earth, and that was great.
Oh, I just got hit. Awesome.
Hey, I missed that. Can you do that again?
Well, first off, we've been trying to come over here for about 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
And had some near misses.
A year and a half ago we had intended, and I was like really disappointed because I thought we were going, and it was like, and it just kind of evaporated.
It's actually very difficult to find promoters to bring you to the Middle East. as we found out. And so we weren't expecting to go this year. We've been actually working on a new record.
The conversation started to come up where we were going to, see if we could come over to Iraq.
This is something that's been kind of on the works or in the works for at least a couple of years, and it was over the last couple of months when we realized that this is starting to come to fruition.
As we heard about it, we were just finishing up a run and heading back home.
We're sitting in an airport, and we're all at this airport restaurant somewhere in New York. I don't remember where.
Okay.
And our band's manager was with us at the time, and she's on the phone. It's like, yep. Mm-hmm.
And our manager came up to us and said, by the way.
The phone call came from the Lone Wolf people, Jeff in particular.
So how do you guys feel about going to Iraq? And everyone was just like, what? And there's the initial like, okay, she's kidding. Then it's like, oh, she's not kidding.
And of course, everybody just kind of looks around at each other like, really? We'd kind of talked about it before, but this was, first time it was fine, confirmed. Yeah, we're doing it.
And of course, I was like, it's about time. When are we leaving?
Holy shit, we're going to Iraq?
I was apprehensive at first, actually quite apprehensive.
Your blood starts to boil and you get a little rush, and you know what? Right on, let's do this,
Personally, I'm just like excited for any gig that we get. I just like being on tour,
Hell yeah, let's fucking go.
Is that
Let's
right?
do this. I was pretty stoked about there's the initial worry, you are going into a war zone.
Conditions aren't the best over here. They've really made some great strides in making everybody comfortable, not just us, but I mean the humans that live over here, our troops.
It's definitely still hot. There's still, there's gonna still be shit going down,
okay,
no matter what. And that's something that you just kind of have to take that into account.
You read about it in the papers or see it on the news channels.
And if you spend your, every night dwelling on, what's gonna happen in the next hour, what if, then you're gonna sit barricaded in a fucking metal box with an air conditioner, not looking at the sun. You're not gonna get to live the experience.
In fact, I felt safer out here than some places I traveled to in the States.
The conditions are flexible. Sometimes it's hard, and some places are easier. The guys at Lone Wolf, Jeff, and everybody else that we dealt with went above and beyond to take care of us and make sure we were as comfortable as possible. It was just a great experience.
But explaining it to my younger kids who are, in their, 10 and 14 at the age, I didn't want them to get, worried that I was going over into the hot fire of war type of thing.
Our military people would not put us in harm's way. Mm-hmm. They're not gonna invite us over there if it's really dangerous.
Ah, it was fine. They got you.
But in Iraq, they made sure we got in and got out. We flew on military aircraft. We were met by military personnel. We were put in military vehicles and drove into our next destination.
I knew that the troops would take care of us and we'd be protected, and a lot of bands had been doing it. So, that was kind of it, and then just the expectations of, what it really is it going to be like.
We played a show with Candlebox a few weeks prior, and they just got back, and they were just basically like, you have nothing to worry about, but it's kind of a opportunity of a lifetime, and you can't really explain what it's like. You got to do it, and they're totally right,
I mean, I haven't been camping in a while, and I figured it was going to be probably a little bit more of a heated camping trip, and I suppose maybe it's turned out to be that,
I guess in a lot of ways, they probably put us up a little bit better than the majority of the troops. I guess that's just kind of their way of dealing with a VIP situation.
Right. And once you're on these bases, you really get the sense that it's it's like they're like mini cities, and you really do have a lot of the accommodations to make it bearable.
Any experience, this is just a side, and you gotta just enjoy where you're at. And if you don't enjoy it, then you're just wasting your time and you're just collecting a paycheck. And I can sit in an office back home or go work a day job back home and do that, but that's not why we're here.
I think the one thing that I worried about a little bit too much, or I think everybody did, was just like, like what the weather was going to be like and attire to bring and stuff. I just wore the same shit that I always wear, and I was fine.
Jeff did a really good job of giving us enough advanced information that I was able to go over the equipment list.
Let's go through every single what-if situation, find out everything we need, and then just double it just in case. It's only 5 shows. There's not that much that can go wrong, but you never know.
Supplement a couple of things. I brought 3 microphones over and a couple of things for some processing, and again, based on the information, which was dead on once we got here, that we were given ahead of time, I was able to be prepared.
Shit happens.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
if it can break, it will break. It's Murphy's Law. I don't know if it's Murphy's Law or it's Bender's Law. If it's gonna break, it's gonna fucking break, and it's gonna break at the most inopportune time.
I felt like the coaxial guys did a great job.
Had a good local crew.
Yeah, fantastic.
You know what, this, you know, me and Alan were laughing about this, you know, we wanted to kind of box up the coax guys and bring them home with us.
And they were all good to work with.
They're really good. I mean, this gig went smooth as glass.
It's a lifetime opportunity to go out and have an experience that you may not ever get to do. You know, traveling is such a beautiful thing, and that it's something that people spend their whole lives saving and dreaming and wishing and wishing. And it's our job. It's what we do. And we travel around the world taking this music, this thing, to different people.
We get to kind of submerge ourselves in the military life and see what that's all about, which is very different than the rock and roll life, you know.
I'm a big aviation buff. I love airplanes, helicopters. I'll watch every video, every movie that there is about it. Man, what an experience that was. That was just, and to be able to watch them prep, you know, people think, oh, you just go over, it's like your car, you just go jump in, turn the key, start it, and go up. No, man, it was like an hour process before you even got to start taxiing out to where you're going to take off at. What they go through and what they do, and then being up there watching it and just experiencing kind of a little bit of what they may feel during a combat mission. It was really surreal. I mean, it was touching, you know, to watch these kids, and there's kids, you know, those are kids on those guns.
Even though we're the artists, we're out there supposed to entertain, but I kind of got the opposite. Okay. You know, they were the ones entertaining us on their stage.
You know, to come over here is really kind of an opening experience. It's highly enlightening, and you really get to know a lot about the people, which our troops are people. They're not just, you know, robots. I mean, they are human beings that are doing a job for everybody. And that, you know, helped, knowing that I was going to come over and see that.
And I came over here not really knowing exactly what I was going to get myself into as far as seeing what our boys are out there doing.
Yeah. I got to experience a little bit of what they go through, you know, on a daily basis for 18 months, 12 months, however long they're over here. And for some of them coming back 2, 3, 4 times.
We're sitting in there with the soldiers, and then a lot of them would stop by and say hi and thank you and want to shake our hands.
And that's been kind of fun to hear their stories. You know, I saw you in Fayetteville, you know, in 1984, and you know, was hooked ever since, and showing me their QUEENSRYCHE tattoos. And
I've been a QUEENSRYCHE fan since 1984.
Wow, man.
It's amazing to see, you know, a big band as big as these guys are willing to come over and say thank you to the soldiers and the people that are over here doing what they do, you know.
So I've been trying to find them in the States to go see them, but I've been deployed all the time. Now here they are right here for free. Cobb's Bikers.
How about that?
Like I said, they're just extremely appreciative, and anything we needed, the soldiers were more than happy to go get. You know, they were happy to help us out and help volunteer, help us load our gear, and they've actually made this tour extremely easy. You know, I learned a lot of, you know, just sometimes it was just personal talk, finding out where guys were from and, you know, what they were doing when they were, you know, when they got here, when they're leaving, you know, how many different tours they'd done. And, you know, I found out different things about the different areas, you know, with what's going on in Iraq and what's going on in Kuwait, and, you know, and how the Kuwaiti government's helping us, you know, do this.
My name is Michael Schutz. I'm an investigator here on Camp Beering, coming to the base and, you know, playing here for us. It's an excellent experience to get here and see the band play. I'm just glad that they came and had a good time playing for us, as much as we had a good time watching them play.
Awesome. It was an awesome night.
Crazy awesome.
It's very special. It's touching. It really shows that they're supporting us and they really care about what we're doing out here. It means a lot.
All right, we're here with one of your top QUEENSRYCHE fans of the night. This is Jesse from Las Vegas. Jesse, say hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Everybody, say hi, Jesse. All right, so Jesse, I don't even have to ask you how much fun you had tonight, right?
A blast.
You just had a blast, right?
Blast.
Did it even feel like you were in Iraq tonight?
No.
Not at all, right? You were just transported someplace else magically.
Like Jeff said in the show, you know, he comes out here and it's special to him. It's also special to us for them to take their time out of their lives, come over here and support us, and it's kind of cool that he's going to go back and tell his story backstage.
But you come here, and these aren't people that necessarily will have a tattoo of QUEENSRYCHE on their arm or have a stack of album covers to get signed. They're people that are out here for a different reason, and they say, you came, you know, 6,500, 7,000 miles, flew 20 hours, and you're sleeping in conditions that, you know, as a, you know, world touring band, you don't normally get yourself into. You're putting up with the shit that we put up with to come out here for us. And that's fucking awesome. And I really appreciate that. And it's, you feel there's something different about it, you know?
You know, it's just like bringing some of the home to us. You know, bringing back some of the memories.
It means a lot. It does. It does. Very thankful.
And actually, a real pleasure afterwards. After the shows, we'd have the meet and greets, and all the soldiers would come through, and we'd sign things for them, shake their hands, and take pictures, and have short conversations with them all. And many asked me about specific songs. Oh, that song that has the line in it, blah 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 blah. You know, what album is that from? And that was a real fun thing to. One, remember what song that was and what album it was, but see the interest that they had in hoping, you know, to search it out and find it and listen to it.
And they keep that with them as the little memory of when the guys back home came over and fucking rocked the house down. That's the coolest thing in the world, to know that that moment meant so much to that one person. And that's what it's all about.
I had a blast.
Yeah.
It was, made some great friends, met some great people, definitely experienced things I never thought I would have.
Yeah. You know, when you see a band like this, you know, you think back to going to concerts and the fun that you have with your friends and that. And, you know, it's definitely a piece of home. It means a lot to everybody here. And that's the thing we really look forward to. And it's greatly appreciated that a band like this would come here and do that for us. So to me, it's a very special moment. I appreciate you guys sharing the time with us. It means a lot. Thanks. I could not believe that somebody of their caliber was coming here. That's an amazing thing to come here and play for soldiers and people like myself that are here. I mean,
look at that up in the camera. Look what he brought with him tonight.
It's their first EP. I got it when I was 14 years old, and right after I got this, I went to go see QUEENSRYCHE when they opened up for Ozzy Osbourne, Orange County Civic Center in Orlando.
Smiling next to you in silent lucidity.
assisting our efforts, you can achieve dream control.
If you open your mind for me, you won't rely on open eyes to see. The walls you built within come tumbling down and a new one will begin. Think twice at once, you learn you're safe from pain and the dream remain, your soul set free to fly. A round trip journey in your head, master of illusion. Can you realize your dreams alive? You can be the guide, but with you watching over you, I'm gonna help you see it through. We'll protect you in the night. I'm smiling next to you.
Well, it's pleasing to see. You know, I'm not so surprised anymore, but I run into QUEENSRČCHE fans everywhere.
Like I said, they're out here to thank you guys, and this is their way of saying thank you, to come out here and try to put on some good shows for you guys.
No bullshit aside, for you guys to come out here and take your time to throw on a concert means a lot, believe it or not. The words can't describe it. Come out here and spend time to say thanks for us means a lot for us. So.
You know, that's been such a great thing for us, and it seems like such a small thing for us to in return, play some music.
Well, I mean, it makes me feel like there's somebody that's actually like remembering that we're out here and we're not forgotten in the desert, and that we're doing our best to do something good for the world and for the country. So
that's great.
It feels good to be remembered.
On belief, when we hit the stage, they can forget about their troubles for 2 hours and hang out and you know, escape a little bit, and we can give that to them, and I think that's hugely important for them, and it's a heart-touching thing for us.
If anyone gets the opportunity and passes it up, now you fucked up, you know? You're fucked up now, because this is amazing. It's been an incredible experience for me.
Well, Jeff Thornton at Lone Wolf is a promoter, and he is very hands-on, and he takes you through the whole process of getting here.
Since we're started, and you know, they have such a background of doing this. I mean, they've been doing it for years.
You know, Jeff was really, really cool about taking us in.
We never felt disoriented or worried or anything like that. He was always in control and kept everything rolling, and was very good at communicating the schedule for the next day and what was going to happen in the next hour.
He's got a great team of people that surround him, and I mean, geez, it's been a cakewalk having, you know, that type of support.
And the one thing that I saw with Jeff and Lone Wolf is that, number one, I see a passion.
And Jeff Thornton there, you know, has really got his feet on the ground, literally, with doing this.
And I think with the passion comes the attention to the detail that makes a difference. And no pretension, had everything covered.
Always a step ahead of what everyone was doing and keeping track of what everybody was doing and where they were going. So very competent, very professional.
Jeff's taking care of it. He's been on it.
The guys at Lone Wolf, Jeff, went above and beyond to take care of us and make sure we were as comfortable as possible.
It was actually super smooth. It was like there really wasn't any problem at all.
And it's made it really, really easy.
We always knew where we were going. He always seemed to have a plan.
A lot of times back in the States, you got to fight a promoter to get something. You're sitting there arguing with them to get something. Jeff just like, okay.
If there was some contingency, for example, are we going up in the Black Ops or not? It was never, it was just always well put together.
And Jeff Thornton has really delivered on what he promised us, what we would see and beyond.
Jeff, from beginning to end, has made this whole experience just a breeze.
And a lot of great stories. A very fun guy to hang out with.
Rock and load.